Joshua Williamson and Daniel Sampere kick off the Dark Crisis as chaos spreads throughout Earth-Zero in the wake of the Justice League being killed, leaving Jonathan Kent, Wally West, Dick Grayson and other heroes of the world to decide if creating a new Justice League will help bring hope back to a world on fire. Joshua Williamson finally enters his much anticipated and built up Dark Crisis event with an action-packed premiere issue that explores a chaotic Earth-Zero and how the next generation of heroes are fighting from drowning amongst the tidal wave of supervillains and threats at their doorstep. This issue had a great atmosphere to it, and one that, while the story does indeed kick off here and in issue 0, it sort of feels like the breath in before the long exhale. There was this sort of uneasy calm to it all until the final pages, and Williamson kept that tension building really fantastically. Williamson also builds off things he's created from Infinite Frontier to Justice League Incarnate and even Future State, as we have a Superman in Jonathan Kent who is still trying to figure out his role in the world and what type of Superman he's going to be, and he's kind of thrust into this position to try and put together a Justice League, something he is way out of his depth in. Dick Grayson also gets a central role as the mentor for Jonathan Kent, which we've been seeing in the Nightwing and Son of Kal-El books, and as well to a lesser extent Wally, as their relationship is longer than his and Jonathan. And it's great to see him coming in as this leader, and I'm interested to see his arc throughout this entire event since he's being positioned as the big leader of Earth-Zero's heroes and the resistance against these villains. Pryor and the Great Darkness aren't really all that present in this issue until the end of the book, and while his mission is teased here, it leads me to an interesting theory I had, since Pryor plans on using the death of the Justice League to kill the multiverse, and it makes me think that since Earth-Zero is the quote-unquote main universe, the League are the constants, and it's where their multiversal versions will branch off from. So killing them effectively maybe starts a chain reaction which sees the Leagues of all of the different Earths in the multiverse start dying off because the originals are dead. Whether I'm right or wrong, I'm very much looking forward to what Williamson and the other writers throughout this event are building towards, since it seems really interesting and different from a lot of other crises we've seen. Daniel Sampere headlines the event with some absolutely perfect artwork that captures the scale of it all in really fantastic cinematic quality. The book looks like Daniel had more than enough time to actually draw it and make everything look perfect, since every page is just so crisp and full of colour and life, and every scene is just a feast for the eyes. Dark Crisis issue 1 was well worth the wait, unleashing some great action-packed cinematic storytelling onto us while also exploring how the next generation of heroes are dealing with picking up the pieces of a chaotic world and forging their own path throughout the DC universe. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Dark Crisis issue 1 finds Nightwing delivering his eulogy at the Justice League Vigil, knowing while they operated in the dark, it all started with a light, and after his parents died, he felt so lost, but then he took an oath to carry on his parents' memory and legacy, and from that light he watched the world grow. He knows that there were aliens, Amazons and gods, and Nightwing saw generations come together with sidekicks, new faces and new backgrounds, all with the mission not to just bring justice to the world, but also hope, a hope that shined brighter than any candle could. Dick tells the gathered heroes and people that they could never question what the League stood for and what they meant, and he knows many of the people there today are mentors, family, fathers, mothers, friends and family of the League. He promises the people that if they work together now, hope will fuel the light that pushes them through the darkness, just like the candle did the day he took his oath. Later on, Superman and Flash battle the cult of Cobra in Washington DC, with Wally knowing that Cobra never were this brazen before. Someone watches Superman through a sniper's crosshair as Jon tells Wally that these attacks are happening all the time now that the Justice League aren't around. Flash thinks this is bigger than that, thinking these villains are desperate and acting like they are running out of time. As the leader of Cobra proclaims that he is the end, Hal Jordan flattens his tank with a construct. Green Lantern wants to know where the Justice League is, so Hal is taken back to the Hall of Justice to see Black Adam, who details how he and the League faced off against Darkseid and various other dark villains, and even the Spectre, who are coming for the multiverse, but there were too many of the villains, and he knows the darkness feared his lightning, so he called upon it to strike his enemies down, and it wound up ejecting him from the battlefield. He remembers crashing into the Hall of Justice, but also that the League were ripped apart by Prior's powers. He knows that he has never seen heroes turn to ash like that, and while the darkness was halted, the League also died. Hal doesn't want to trust the former villain, but Jon says his father vouched for Adam, and he was even on the Justice League with the other heroes. Wally knows that the attack started soon after, so it didn't matter if they believed Adam or not. Hal doesn't want to take his word for it and asks who they had look into this insane story. Wally tells Hal that he asked Dr. Fate, the Atoms, the DEO, and even the Rogues, and no one knows what the Great Darkness is or even where the Justice League are. Hal wants to know where Nightwing is in all of this, learning that he's running Titans Academy. He asks Wally what Barry would do in this situation, with Wally knowing that he'd look at it like a crime scene and follow the evidence, so Hal suggests that they form a Justice League to look for evidence, and he's going to go and look for the perpetrator. Jon tells Wally that the violence is ramping up on Earth, but Wally says that is why the world has Superman, telling Jon that he knows what it's like to be in someone's shadow, wanting Jon to find his own way to shine. Jon visits his father's statue outside of the hall, knowing what Superman would do, as in Brazil, Yara Flor battles a demon who rants about the coming darkness as it burns the forest around them. Superman joins the battle, taking down the demon with Yara using his freeze breath. Yara knows that it's not so easy now to restore what the monster took, looking over the burned up forest around them. Jerry comes up to say hi to Jon as Jon introduces himself to Yara, who knows that Jon is really doing well filling in for his father. Superman tells her that they are to carry on the legacy of the Justice League, and it's why he's putting together a new version of them. Yara laughs, not wanting to be part of it since she cannot ignore what is happening in her part of the world with her tribe and forest. She knows that she just became Wonder Girl, and even that is a massive legacy to live up to. She gets on Jerry, telling Jon that they don't fill the roles of those who have fallen just because they want to, and she can't be Jon's Wonder Woman. She is just herself, and she can't join a team of superheroes. Later in New York, the Batman pursues the Trigger twins, dodging their gunfire as Superman slams into the front of their monster truck, capturing the villains. Jon thinks that he and Batman are the new world's finest, as Jace tells him that the Trigger twins were leading him to their arms dealer, and Superman messed that up. Superman tells Batman that they are trying to step up, and it took a long time for his father and his Batman to admit to themselves that Superman does need a Batman. Jace refuses, wanting him to go and ask a Robin, since the last time Batman teamed with anyone, he died. Jon leaves New York, asking various other heroes, until the next day at the Hall of Justice, people begin putting flowers at the League's statues, screaming at the people protesting that the end is coming. Black Adam watches them, telling the unseen Adriana that he should have died along with them, as Superman finds him, asking who he's talking to. Adam snaps at him not to use his super hearing on him, having healed enough that he wants to leave for his people at Kahndaq since they need him in a time like this. Jon knows that he's only been Superman for a little while, but he knows, learning from so many people, Adam included, he knows what the world needs. Superman reveals the new Justice League lineup, but Adam isn't impressed. Jon tells him that this will give the people the confidence they need to feel safe again. Adam critiques Jon's choices of Dr. Light, Killer Frost, Harley Quinn, Jackson Hyde, and the two Blue Beetles. Superman knows that they are all good heroes and the world needs a Justice League. Adam says this is not a Justice League since the world needs capable protectors, not children. Black Adam leaves, thinking Jonathan isn't ready for this role, and they both know who should lead the Justice League, and it's Nightwing. Dick meanwhile trains his students at the new Titans Academy, as Cyborg knows that Dick is turning their training center into a circus thanks to all of the trapezes. Starfire knows that this is Dick's favorite class, and Raven thinks that after the Red X incident, Dick should be allowed to have some fun. As Superman is targeted by someone, a bloodied Chupacabra arrives at the tower. Dick goes to help his former student, finding someone attacked him. Nightwing finds a bomb on the hero, but it's too late as it explodes, blowing holes all through the tower as Deathstroke and his secret society of supervillains launch an attack on the tower, knowing that the League isn't there to bail out the young heroes this time. Slade tells his people that their targets are anyone who ever called themselves a Titan, however the teachers are his alone. Slade intends on killing their legacy once and for all as the team bring him Beast Boy. Garfield says that they will just rebuild the tower again like they did before, but Slade points a gun at him, saying that they're leaving the tower standing as it will stand as a bloody warning to anyone who tries to pick up a torch and put on a costume. He shoots Beast Boy in the head, as in Multiverse 2, Pryor can feel a crisis has begun as another voice in his head tells him that his anger doesn't help them much. Pryor knows that he and the other voice will get what they crave, and he knows that the list of heroes created in darkness is endless, wondering why they can't see how much good in their world has come from death. As he works on his machine, he knows that the Justice League wasn't enough and they need more heroes from Earth Zero. He watches the heroes of Earth Zero, angered that they are full of hope, since he will turn that hope into a weapon, and once the skies of the planet turn red, he and the Great Darkness will be brought to Earth Zero and he will use the deaths of the Justice League to destroy the multiverse.